How's it going?
I'm ready, Peggy.
Are you sure? We've only got one shot at this.
I'm sure. Let's do this.
Okay, name first. Who do you think the target is?
Aunt Williams.
And where will I find them?
The power station.
Okay, I'm dialing. One moment. Forrest, I'm through to the power plant, but they say there isn't anyone by that name there.
What? Then who? Jeez!
It sounds like something blew up!
He's using bombs now?
Oh my god. The call board, one moment. Forrest, I'm getting so many calls. Just let me... I'm gonna take us off air for a moment.
Peggy, what's happening in there? Peggy.
I'm back. He blew up the gas station, Forrest.
Okay.
I spoke to the fire department and the hospital. The fire department is useless now, as you know. And, the hospital's only ambulance was at the gas station. Forrest, you've got to say something on the radio. You have to tell the town. I'm putting us back on air. Now.
Gallows Creek. I don't know how to tell you this, but, the gas station's been bombed.
Please, everyone, stay safe, stay inside, and... oh, just bring us into some music, Forrest.
Here's some music while we regroup here on KFAM 189.16, The Stream.
There's gotta be more in the basement to show us who Clive is targeting. And if that's the case, we can get ahead of him. Stop the killings before they can happen. Forrest, we need to go back down.
By we, you mean me, right?
Yep, like I said, I need to handle all these calls. Maybe start with that creepy mannequin room you mentioned before. I still have a lot of questions about those, by the way.
Me too. A key? Was this always here? I must have missed it when I brought everything upstairs. give me some warning before yelling down the intercom?
Sorry. Buzz the intercom when you find something and want to discuss it.
Peggy, I've found a tape and a map down here.
A map of what?
Looks like it might be to somewhere in this storage area.
Weird. Well, maybe the tape will give us more information. Give it a play. Forrest, you should listen to that first tape you found.
It's all began for me. Follow the maps. Find the tapes. I'll be waiting.
Wait, George Barrow? We all heard that he drowned after a night out drinking. Was it actually Clive? Has Clive really been the whistling man for that long?
He says I need to follow the maps and find the tapes. I guess that's what this map is about.
I think we need to see what else is hidden down here. Be careful, Forrest. Keep looking. Buzz the intercom when you found something.
Time of autopsy is 7 a.m. Cause of death is asphyxiation from drowning. The degree of rigor mortis indicates that the subject has been deceased for 5 hours. That puts the time of death... Small lacerations to arms, legs, and face, typically obtained by running through foliage. Severe blistering to the feet, as though the deceased had been running without stopping. Preliminary toxicology results shows no signs of inebriation. However, a high amount of cortisol was found. indicating elevated levels of stress in the immediate moments before death. Additionally, there appears to be a post-mortem injury to the arm. It looks like it was trapped in a car door.
This looks useful.
It is the coroner's opinion that the subject likely feared
Now
for
this
his
has
life
to be
and
important.
was chased, resulting in a fall from a height into a body of water where he hit his head, was knocked out, and drowned. Following that, he was moved.
Dr. Sullivan, we need to have a talk. That recording. Shut it off.
Ooh, a new vinyl for my collection.
If you're listening to this, then I'm probably dead.
What the?
I'm a man who likes to stay informed. I've got subscriptions to newspapers all over the country. A few weeks ago, I noticed headlines cropping up in those papers, one after the other. Each headline about a murder. Each murder, the death of someone I knew almost 20 years ago. And each one drawing closer to Gallows Creek. Drawing closer to the anniversary. None of us are innocent, but I don't think we deserve killing. All I hope now is that I can save some folk from the worst that I can. I don't know. Do something to make up for what I did back then, I guess. I didn't kill anyone, mind you, but that's past mattering. Now, there's more I could say that I should say, but my employer made it clear that my family would pay a high price if I ever spoke out. So, hopefully I've said enough for you, listener, whoever the hell you are, to start putting the truth together.
What the hell? Peggy is not gonna believe this.
What have you found, Forrest?
It's an autopsy tape. Doesn't say for who, but I think it must be for George.
Poor George. He was so young.
Something's bugging me, Peggy.
What do you mean?
I swear I recognize the voice of the woman talking on the tape. I just can't place it.
Seriously? Do you think you've met her before?
I don't know. I mean, I just got here recently. I don't know. Found another tape. It talks more about how George died.
What did it say?
It sounds like he was running for his life. Sprinting through trees and bushes, getting cut up all over.
What would drive someone to do that?
I'm not sure yet. There's also a tape about a toxicology report. There were no signs of drinking or that he was on anything.
What? But everyone said he went swimming drunk and drowned. It was in the newspaper and everything.
I found a written autopsy report.
What does it say?
According to that, it's just like you said at the start. George drowned after getting drunk. Said he liked to fight, too.
But that contradicts the tape.
I know. And I think I know why. There's a note with the report that says, "I'm sorry I made you do this, Virginia."
If it was on the autopsy report, then Virginia must be our coroner. Wait, the caller from earlier, when we had to call the takeout restaurants, wasn't her name Virginia?
We need to call her back once we finish down here. It looks like she might know something about what's going on. I found a tape that introduces a new detail to the story. Post-mortem injury. Apparently, his arm got caught in a car door.
A car door?
Yeah, after he died. How do you suppose they can tell?
How can they tell? I'm a radio producer, not a coroner.
The written report I found doesn't mention it at all.
How did his arm get trapped in a car door after he died?
Unless he got it when the police collected his body, I guess someone else must have moved him after he was dead to where he was eventually found.
But the report, What is going on here?
I found a police report. Mentions a friend from earlier, Sandra Sharp.
Sandra. The jazz runner?
That's right. She found George's body washed up at the reservoir.
The reservoir?
Yeah? What's strange about that?
George got cuts from running through foliage, right? But there's no forest around there. Also, how did it wash up at the reservoir?
What do you mean?
Reservoirs don't have tides.
But that's what the police report said.
It's not possible, though. I did a school project on reservoirs and got an A. But, yeah, not important right now. The important thing is that it doesn't make sense.
What are you suggesting, then? That the body was originally found somewhere other than what the report suggests? That the sheriff tried to cover it up, but accidentally let something slip?
Something like that. I think.
Well, Sheriff Matthews wrote the report. If he hadn't been eviscerated, we could have asked him.
True. But Sandra is still alive. Once we're done down here, we should give her a call.
In another tape, the coroner comes to the same conclusion as I did. George was running from something.
Maybe an animal?
Maybe, but then there's this next bit, where the coroner thinks he was moved post-death.
So she agrees with us.
At the end of the tape, someone burst in and demanded Virginia stop recording. I think it was Clive.
This is starting to make sense now. This is a conspiracy to cover up what happened to George.
I think I found Clive's last recording. I think Clive might be gone.
Gone?
I found a confession. Not for any killings, but for playing a part in covering up George's death. He left this behind in case he died. He hoped someone would find it.
Do you think the Whistling Man already got him?
Possibly. We've had a lot of callers tonight, but maybe not every victim made it to the phone, you know? We don't know how many there really are.
Christ, Forrest, that's dark.
I know, but Clive said he had read about other murders in other towns, and that the murders were all folks who knew about the incident. And the killings were getting closer to Gallows Creek. He said he wanted to do something good for once.
The board in his office. He wasn't tracking people down to kill them. He was tracking them down to save them. Ugh, why didn't he just come out with all of this?
He said his employer threatened his family if he spoke out about any of it.
His employer? The one who orchestrated the cover-up? Oh, Clive. I'm sorry for thinking you'd killed all those people. Do you think you found everything?
I think so.
Forrest, what's going on here?
Someone wanted that boy's death to seem like an accident, and they hired Clive to make it look that way.
Come back upstairs when you're ready. We need to figure out our next step. Thank God you're back, Forrest. I've been running out of stuff to pad our airtime with.
Peggy, you work in radio.
Forrest, I'm stressed. I mean, really, how are we supposed to keep a show going with all this happening?
This is our job, Peggy. We gotta do it.
You're right. So, what's the plan now?
I think we should call Virginia back.
All right, I'll get her on the line. Time to turn the music off. Okay, Forrest, shut the music off.